I know black. I know black. I know black. Imposible. I know black. I'm Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican. I know black. Be looking just like me. Be having the same hair. I be touching it like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same, papi. It's not the same. They try to salsa that shit off. I be like, no, it's not the same. I know black. Negro nunca, nunca. I know no, nunca. I know black. I'm like, no, you black. No, no, no. I know black. Dominica. I go, I know, but you're black. No, 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 papi. I know black.
Was at work and someone asked, "Oh, what are you?" And I said, "I'm Dominican." And they're like, "Oh, so you're black." I said, "No, I'm Dominican." So have you ever wondered why so many Dominicans say, "I'm not black, I'm Dominican"? Trust me, it's not racism, it's just context. We all know in the US, black identity was shaped by slavery, segregation, and the civil rights struggle. But in the Dominican Republic, identity comes from mestizaje, which is a mix of African, European, and indigenous roots. So we have a mixture of all three. So here people say, I'm Dominican first, and everything else comes after. So I represent Dominican Republic, hence I'm Dominican. So in the US, race is often seen as black or white, but in the Caribbean, it's a bit more complicated. There we have morenito, indio, canela, trigueñito, blanco, rubio. And so we have multiple ways that people can describe themselves by the color of their skin, not by the race, ethnic, and all of that, or descent that they represent, because we identify as Dominican.
If you've ever visited the Dominican Republic or spoken to a Dominican, you may have heard the phrase, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. But what if I told you blackness is deeply woven into the roots of the Dominican identity, whether some want to admit it or not? So stay tuned, because today we are unpacking the complicated history, the denial, and deep pride surrounding black identity in the Dominican Republic.
Dominican women, why do y'all hate us? Why do you hate black American women? And if you don't, can one of y'all go grab your girl? Hold on, I want to talk about something. Hold on. So I was scrolling through the app, minding all y'all business and not minding my own. And this girl pops up. The first thing she says is like, hey, be nice to me, but do I look like a black American woman? And yes, okay, she has an accent that sounds Latin. And I think like after I like watched the video, I could decipher that she's like Dominican. She's just been in America for 2 years, but she looks like a whole black woman. Like, she looks like a black American. And also, she lives in America, and she's black. So, yes, she looks like black American. Okay, you see what I look like. I'm a black American. I consider myself black. I'm gonna be real. I think she look blacker than me. You know what I mean? The reason why I would say, like, slightly not American is because she has, like, really bad hair. I'm not really trying to get on this girl. I am kind of, because she says some stupid ass shit. Okay, so first of all, her hair. It's either, I couldn't tell if it was just like a weave or a wig, but I know it was lopsided. And it's like, I know black American women, and they stay on their hair. I don't know what was going on with this girl's hair, but it looked like a hot mess. But some of the facts that she used were just like so insulting. She wasn't saying like, do I look black American because she was like proud to be in America, or she was proud to be black at all. She was saying like, I look different, I walk different, I hold myself different than black Americans. She didn't say she stood up straighter, but the way she said she held herself and she dressed different. And I was looking at her outfits and like, I didn't see nothing really different. I mean, bad hair is the only thing I saw that was like, oh, maybe you're not American. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what y'all be doing over there. But just the disdain in her voice that she did not want to be associated with being black American. She was even saying that like she prefers not to speak English in America. What? Now, I do have like a big love for like the Latin community. I don't personally know a lot of Dominicans. And to be fair, I probably don't have a good take on Dominicans, because it seems like the very few that I know, it's like when it's time to be black, they want to be black and say the N-word. But then when it's not time, then they want to just like speak Spanish. I don't know if they speak Spanish. Like they speak their language and like whatever. And they call us and the hard R. You know what I mean? It's like I guess it's kind of like being mixed, because like, you know, you're on the fence or whatever. I'm a mixed person that's not on the fence, so I don't really understand it, but I see it in other people. And I'm not gonna tag this girl, and I didn't follow her, and I'm only shouting her out. So I don't know, go watch the video. If you probably pull up the girl that asked if she looked Black American, her video probably gonna come up, and the comments are eaten. Like, the comments are pretty good. But it's just the disdain in her voice that I didn't like. The fact that she didn't say she's different. It was like she was saying she's better, which, like, confidence is key, right? Like, have all the confidence you want, but, like, girl, you came to America. I don't know why. I don't know if it was your choice, but you're in America. You said you've been here for 2 years. You're Black. You're a Black American now.
And before the Dominicans start, yes, I'm half Dominican. And while I'm also fucking tired of the I know Black, I'm Dominican, unprovoked joke, I think it's very disingenuous to sit here and front like there's no credence to why this is still a relevant joke. I think it's about time that we as a people sit down and have a constructive, critical conversation about the underlying anti-Blackness that joke is highlighting in Dominicans and in Dominican culture. Race in general, all over the world, is about your phenotypic presentation, even in Dominican Republic. Because whiteness as a construct globally is exclusive. Anybody who doesn't look white is not white, but anyone who looks even a little bit Black is Black. I agree that Dominicans have a national identity that is not specific to racial identification, but Dominicans absolutely care about race, and Dominicans do see color and see race. They have several racial classifications, even though there's no racial identity. But most of us are mixed, which means we are Black, but we're Black and whatever we're mixed with. So a simple solution is just to say, yes, I am Black, but I'm also Taino, and I'm also Spaniard because I'm Dominican, and that's what we're mixed with. It's that simple, but y'all just anti-Black.
I understand from a historical perspective why Dominicans don't like to identify as Black. During the 1820s, Dominican Republic was ruled by Haiti. And if most of you know, Haiti was the first Black independent nation. The Dominican Republic was the only Caribbean island to be ruled by a Black independent nation. Once they got the independence from Haiti and then again Spain, the dictator Rafael Trujillo sought to distance the Dominican people from the African diaspora simply because he thought that the Africans were less than Dominicans. He wanted to associate the Dominicans with their European as much as possible. Laws and policies were put in place where if Dominicans identified with Black, their Dominican citizenship would be rejected. As a result, most Dominicans started identifying as mulatto or indio or white. They neglect their Blackness because of fear.
The Dominican Republic is a Caribbean nation born from colonization, from African resistance, and even the mixing of cultures. But its relationship with Blackness is a bit complex and even at times a little bit controversial. While the island shares the same landmass with Haiti, a nation globally recognized as unapologetically Black, the Dominicans have often distanced themselves from Blackness. This is because of centuries of having colonial trauma. So the Spanish colonizers and later political regimes weaponized anti-Blackness to control the population and separate Dominicans from Haitians. And even in the 20th century, we can see that there was a dictator, I can't remember the name, led a campaign of whitening, promoting Eurocentric beauty standards and violating, suppressing Afro-Dominican identity. So generations of Dominicans grew up associating Blackness with poverty, with criminality, or even they thought of being less of a Dominican. But here's the truth. Dominicans are Black, maybe not all, but a significant majority carry Afro or African ancestry in their skin, in their hair, in their music, in their food. Yes. And we can see that if we are a little bit honest, the denial of Black identity isn't about culture. It's about surviving in a world where proximity to whiteness still means access, still means respect, and even safety. But that tide is changing. A new wave of Afro-Dominican voices is rising, and now we are seeing Dominicans that are proud, that are bold, and even unapologetic. And they're reclaiming their Blackness and challenging the colorism and even the racism that has always kept their history in the shadows. Because being Dominican and being black aren't mutually exclusive, and even we can see that they never were. But it's time we see the Dominican Republic for what it really is, a nation built by African descendants with every reason to walk in the black pride.